Enlightenment Philosophy in a Nutshell by Jane O'Grady. Narrated by Mabel Clements. Introduction. What is Enlightenment philosophy? What is Enlightenment? The question, what is Enlightenment, appeared in an exasperated footnote to an article defending marriage and lamenting morality's decline, written in 1783 by a Prussian clergyman, Johann Friedrich Zollner. This question, which is nearly as important as what is truth, he wrote, should be answered before one starts to enlighten. Many intellectuals beside Kant, including Moses Mendelssohn, took up the challenge. What is Enlightenment? In 1784, Immanuel Kant wrote an essay answering that question, but it is still being heatedly asked more than 2 centuries later. Enlightenment from what? From dogma, authority, hierarchy, superstition, religious control and religious intolerance? Granted. But was the Enlightenment essentially godless, and how enlightening in fact was it? Who were the enlighteners? Can enlightened despots such as Prussia's Frederick II or Catherine the Great of Russia count as being among them? Was the Enlightenment an integrated homogeneous movement, or were there as many enlightenments as there were European countries? Or, as historian Jonathan Israel has recently argued, was it one movement, but with 2 conflicting strands, radical, anti-traditional, and moderate, more conservative? Should the counter-enlightenment be considered separate to the Enlightenment or essential to it, a sign of its complexity and fruitful contradictoriness? Because when it began is disputed, there isn't even agreement about which European country was its source. Was it with Descartes' doubt in the early 17th century, around 1648 at the end of the 30 Years' War? With Spinoza in tolerant Holland or Newton and Locke in 17th century England? At the beginning of the 18th century, when the French became inspired with Anglomania? And when did it end? With the French Revolution in 1789? Kant's death in 1804, or the beginning or end of the Napoleonic Wars? Even given the earliest and latest temporal boundaries, the Enlightenment overflows them back into the Renaissance and forward into Romanticism. It produced a cornucopia of scientific discovery, literature, music, art, and architecture, as well as philosophy. But it would take several volumes to cover Galileo, Newton, Lavoisier, heliocentrism, the invention of the steam engine, the economics of Beccaria and Adam Smith, the exuberant divinity of Bach, Handel, Haydn, and Mozart, the light/dark antithesis, the nudes and portraiture of Rembrandt, Rubens, Vermeer, and Velázquez, the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?